Brent, go ahead.
Coach, can you just describe what your conversations have been like with your student athletes? You know, getting ready to go into conference play and everything that you had going. Can you just maybe the emotions of what the last week or so have been like for your squad and for you?
Well, it started at the airport last Thursday. We were actually getting ready to board the plane. Our first student athlete was handing the gate agent her ticket to head down to get on the airplane, and I got the phone call saying, get them all back together, don't board the plane, get back on the bus and head back to campus. The SEC has just suspended play. And then, as you guys know, the next 36 hours, there were a lot of changes. But, you know, obviously a lot of emotions, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, a lot of confusion. But I think what I was most proud of with our student athletes is, despite their disappointment about softball, they quickly saw the bigger picture, and that this is about a world health crisis, and this is about taking care of the greater good, and that each of us has a responsibility in that respect to do our part to curb the spread of the virus.
Mike?
How do you plan to approach working with your athletes, getting them staying in shape, staying on top of hitting, pitching? How do you do that when you can't actually work with them?
Well, like Coach Fulmer said, we send them home with workout plans, and we just found out today, of course, that the SEC has canceled the season. So I think that plays a part in things as well. Just staying in communication with them. My bigger concern really is not competition and not how much they're working out right now. It's more about, are they taking care of themselves? Are they taking care of each other? Are they doing what they need to do to make sure this virus doesn't spread? Because we've heard a lot of talk about millennials and how they need to really take care of this generation, the next generation, the great generation. I saw something on social media that I actually retweeted that I thought was really powerful. It said our elders were called to save lives. We are being called to sit on the couch to save theirs, and we can do this. And I think that's the message we really need to get across right now. It's not so much about working out in competition. It's about our part in stopping the virus.
David? Did you have any conversations with your players about sort of travel and getting home, or if you're going to figure those logistics out, and what was that kind of like?
Yes, a lot of those conversations got pretty detailed last Friday when we found out that everything was going to be suspended until April 15th. That was the word at that time. And so we encouraged all of our student athletes to get home. And I think right now, other than 2 athletes, everybody is at home, and those 2 are currently making plans to get home and head that way the middle of this week.
Brianna?
Karen, have you had, given that the waiver idea has been floated out there already and they're working on it, have you had any discussions with any of your seniors or others about, their thoughts, or is it too early to go into that, whether they'll return? Or?
Well, Friday we got the word that the NCAA definitely wanted to grant eligibility relief. Obviously, we don't know those details yet. So in our team meeting on Friday, we were able to bring that message to them and say, at least there's hope here. And I think that was one of their biggest concerns when it came to softball. Obviously, that's not the greatest concern, like I've said, but so that there is hope that they will have some relief granted, and the NCAA has, been pretty firm about that. Obviously, there's a lot of details to be worked out.
As a follow-up to that, Coach, most people, when they talk about that, are talking about seniors. Is it your belief that the NCAA should grant a extra year of eligibility for everybody, so you repeat your freshman year and you get an extra year, your junior year, you get that back as well? Do you think it should be across the board for all classifications?
It's my understanding, and I don't know if Andrew Donovan is still here, but based on a conference call I was on today with the SEC and all of the softball coaches, that it's not just being limited to seniors, that they are interested in granting eligibility relief to all current student athletes.
Karen, when you're, getting ready to get on a plane and go play a game, at that point, either with you or your staff or your players, was there any apprehension at the time or any discussions about should we even be doing this?
I don't think it had gotten to the point of those discussions. I think things were happening around us pretty quickly. We did ask our student athletes before we left campus that day, is there anyone who has any reservations about traveling today? And if you have those reservations, you're not going to be asked to go. You have that option to stay at home, and nobody expressed that they wanted to stay at home or had reservations about traveling. Now, this was last Thursday morning.